Hello everybody, I am Jenny with We Don't Waste. I am an intern from Johnson & Wales University, and today we are making a vegetable stir fry with tofu. So our ingredients for today are 1 cup of brown rice, a ½ pound of broccoli, 2 medium celery stalks, 1 medium carrot, a small jalapeno or chili pepper. We are using a bell pepper today, 1 clove of garlic, 6 ounces of chicken or firm tofu, 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons of low sodium soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of canola oil, and a ½ teaspoon of ground ginger. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to boil the rice. It takes about 45 minutes, so you'll want to start that before you do anything else. You're going to have 1 cup of the brown rice for 2 cups of water. You're going to mix them together and just boil it. So we're gonna bring our rice to a boil, and then you're gonna bring our rice to a boil, and we're gonna let it, once it comes to a boil, we're gonna let it simmer. We're gonna first chop our veggies. We're gonna begin with the broccoli. And don't throw away the stalk, we're gonna use that. So just chop them up into bite-sized pieces, whatever you're most comfortable with. You can even use these leaves, so don't throw those out. Peeling the broccoli stalk, because the outside is a little bitter, doesn't taste very good. But the inside is just perfect for this. So yeah, it's perfect bite-sized little pieces here for this broccoli stalk. Alright, so we're chopping the celery. We're going to use the ends of the celery to make a vegetable broth, but you can also compost them. We've already chopped our broccoli, including the stems, and we're going to just add this to that. Alright, for our carrot, normally people peel them just because it makes it look a little better, and the outside can be a little bit bitter, but if you don't mind that, we're trying to reduce food waste, and so we are just scrubbed it really clean, and we're just going to chop it up. We're going to add the carrots to our veggies. Alright, so we are going to cut our bell pepper. And if you have a jalapeno, the process is going to be pretty similar. We're just going to compost that. Alright, so to cut the seed and membrane out, we are using a small paring knife, and it just gets it really. And then we're going to cut the peppers into bite-sized pieces. You can cut them into strips if you want, like this, and then you stop. And so we are using a bell pepper because we didn't have any jalapenos available, and you can really customize this recipe to use what you have on hand and what you really like in a recipe. So you could also like onions, mushrooms, if you have watercress available, if you have asparagus available. You can just customize this to whatever you want it to be. Alright, we're gonna mince our garlic. First we're gonna peel it. Now I like to kind of crush it under the knife a little bit, not too much, so that you can't cut it anymore, but just enough that you can peel it. And then we're going to use our small paring knife and make some small cuts in it. The garlic, you can turn it. and do them the other direction. And then it makes it a little bit easier, whoa, makes it a little bit easier to mince it. And then it's already in some small pieces. You can do a quick chop through them. Okay, so we are now going to cut up our tofu into bite-sized pieces. Now, you can, if you're using chicken, use boneless and skinless, and also cut that up into bite-sized pieces. Alright, so we're going to make our sauce now. We are going to add our cornstarch, brown sugar, and soy sauce together and mix it up. If you have a jalapeno, you'll add your minced jalapeno now. Mix this until it's pretty smooth. You don't have big chunks of cornstarch. And this will be your sauce. If you feel like your rice is starting to stick to the bottom, you can add a little bit of water and stir it up. And that should make it, allow it to break free of the bottom. And then if you still think it's not quite done, add a little bit more water and let it cook just a little bit more. Alright, so we're going to turn on our burner to a medium-high heat. We're going to let our pan heat up just a little bit. Then we're going to add our oil. Our ground ginger. And we're going to let that just heat up. And allow it to coat the pan. And then we're going to add our tofu. Now if you're using chicken, you're going to want to let it brown and partially cook. So you're going to keep moving it around until all the sides are cooked and browned. So we're going to let this cook, and we're going to stir it occasionally. And we're going to let this cook for about 2 minutes before adding our vegetables. Alright, so this has been cooking for about 2 minutes, and we are going to add the vegetables. Now, if you are using chicken, you're going to want to make sure that it cooks completely through, and it should be about 7 minutes until that happens. So we're just going to cook this until the vegetables are tender and cooked through. So the vegetables are pretty tender now, and we are going to add our sauce. And so we're going to wait for this to thicken, and it kind of boils. See how but it will definitely thicken up, and we're going to make sure that it coats everything. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water. Just to bring out the cornstarch a little bit, because we have a lot of veggies here. So we're just going to make sure this coats everything, and it's got a thick sauce. It'll cook for 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, and then we're ready to serve. So we've plated our brown rice with our stir fry. Let's taste it. This is so good. You need to try this. So all the ingredients we used here today were rescued by We Don't Waste, and our recipe was provided by Cooking Matters. You can check out this recipe and many more at cookingmatters.org. And for more information about We Don't Waste, volunteer opportunities, and information about our markets, go to wedon'twaste.org.